This segment brought to you by Etherington and Vuckets.
Welcome back. Listen Up is exploring the power of the arts to engage our imaginations. As we learned when we traveled to Philadelphia, engaging the imagination sometimes brings about transformation in the heart. Philadelphia, fifth largest city in the United States. Here, the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were written. It's known as the City of Brotherly Love, but like all major cities, it's had its share of struggles. Murder-a-day crime rates, gangs, violence, and poverty have all made deep wounds on the soul of this place. But something else, something far more beautiful, has also left its mark here: art. With more than 2,700 murals painted, mostly by locals, on the walls of buildings across Philadelphia, this city has more displays of this kind of public art than any other city in the world. Jane Golden is founder of the Mural Arts Program, a unique venture started by the city in 1984 as part of an anti-graffiti effort. Tell us about Philadelphia. Help us understand why this city needed it so badly. A little bit of its background.
Well, Philadelphia, it was really interesting. When I came to Philadelphia, it was clearly a very interesting city, a city of diverse neighborhoods and communities. Wonderful city, a city with a real soul, but it was undergoing a tremendous graffiti crisis. There was graffiti everywhere. There were graffiti gangs. They were highly organized. They would meet on Saturdays and plan where they were going to write. I mean, there wasn't a clean surface in this city. And so when I came here, it was an interesting time to be part of this anti-graffiti network, because graffiti was really, it was an epidemic. And people felt very strongly that things could not change, that this was the way it was. And people had really, for the most part, in many neighborhoods, given up hope and felt that the only city workers they ever saw were the police.
Why go into arts for that role? What can art do that other things cannot?
Well, I feel really strongly that the only way a lot of our kids articulate themselves is really through art. And I think there's something about the arts, and it doesn't have to be painting, it could be the performing arts or the written word, that really sparks the imagination and sort of a really interesting process of getting kids in touch with themselves and their potential that I think other things just can't do.
We had a lot of driving around Philadelphia this morning. I saw over 20 murals probably. I did not see any graffiti. Has that happened?
We've turned Philadelphia into an outdoor gallery, an outdoor museum, and the truth is, these murals do belong to every citizen of this city. They are involved in the process, they help create the design, they really help drive our vision. And so the fact that this work is protected, that no one is vandalizing it, to me, it just speaks volumes about the real profound impact that art has on people's lives. There's something really wonderful about being in Philadelphia. It's the city of brotherly love, and we like to say ancestral affection. But it was founded by William Penn, and William Penn really believed in the spirit of God, and that one should be open to all people, and that we're all united under God. And there's something really wonderful about his inclusive philosophy. And I feel very strongly that in some way we carry on those traditions today in the work that we do. The Peace Mural is located in a section of Philadelphia called Grace Ferry. It's an area of the city that is actually doing well today, but when we were there in the late 90s, it was an area of the city torn apart with racial strife. There was no communication between blacks and whites. There had been a murder, there had been beatings, and we decided to do a peace mural there against much advice saying that we should not do it. And it took us a year to negotiate the project because we couldn't get black and white people to the table. And finally we did, and people said they wanted a mural of hands, and we decided to use real people's hands. We took a photograph, we digitized the image, we projected the image on the wall at night, and then we proceeded to paint. And the dedication was the most integrated event ever down there. And now, the neighbors are working together, black and white, around really important issues: economic development, housing, better schools. And it's To me, it's just an indication of what public art can do. You know, and I don't think things happen overnight. I'm not saying it's a magic wand and everything changes for the better as a result of our murals. Life is much more incremental than that, but I am saying that murals show us the catalytic sort of force that art has on the life of a city.
When we come back, his gallery is the internet and his paintbrush is his camera. Listen up videographer and editor Musa Fadul on the connection between beauty and God next.
Photography for me is a way to try to make sense of the world, to try to make sense of life, to try to make sense of myself. What am I doing? What's the meaning of my life?